You failed.
We're really not sure what they were thinking with some of these odd menu items. These are 10 disastrous fast food fails you have to see to believe.
You're a failure.
KFC's fried chicken pizza.
Every day should be fried chicken day.
KFC knows how much you love fried chicken, but have you ever considered using fried chicken as a pizza crust? KFC's fried chicken pizza, or chizza as they called it, is a personal-sized pizza that comes topped with pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese, ham, pineapple, and what else? Oh, that's right, it all comes served to you on top of a crust of fried chicken.
Pineapple pizza.
Not only do you have to deal with the question of whether or not pineapple belongs on pizza, but you also have to wonder just how greasy your fingers were going to be by the end of this meal. More traditional topping options like classic pepperoni were also available for those of you who were really turned off by the idea of pineapple, but considering this one barely even counts as a pizza, we're not sure that it matters. The fried chicken pizza was only made available for a limited time at certain KFC locations in Asia, and while you'd be hard-pressed to find it on menus today, believe it or not, the item was actually popular enough that you may just see it make a reappearance sometime soon.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Pizza Hut's Pasta Hut.
It's good? What do you mean it's good?
Really good.
Believe it or not, the pizza franchise has been trying to make Pasta Hut a thing for some time now. When you think of classic Italian cooking, what sort of dishes usually come to mind? You think of pizza and pasta, right? Well, maybe that's the reason why Pizza Hut has been experimenting with pasta dishes for a while now, and yet it never seems to turn out quite right. The first time they rolled out a pasta dish was all the way back in the 70s with their cavatelli pasta. This baked pasta dish came with little pieces of pasta that were shaped a bit like wagon wheels before being smothered with warm sauces and gooey cheeses.
It's a magical place.
It was just as decadent as it sounds, but the cavatelli was destined to fail on Pizza Hut's menu. It wasn't until 2008 that the fast food chain tried again with their line of Tuscany pastas that were mostly rotini-based. There was a period of time where the restaurant was even looking into rebranding themselves as Pasta Hut in an effort to get these dishes off the ground, but nobody really seemed to pick up on the new moniker all that much. To this day, Pizza Hut is still better known for their pizza than they are for their pasta. But that being said, you can still find a couple of pasta options on their menus. For example, their classic chicken Alfredo is made using Pizza Hut's iconic creamy Alfredo sauce, strips of grilled chicken, and deliciously melted cheese, while their veggie pasta is the perfect option for anyone looking to enjoy a vegetarian meal. Burger King's Whopperito.
Ma, you've created a Whopper!
The Whopperito was not supposed to be released on a national scale like it was. It was introduced as an option from one Burger King location in Hermitage, Pennsylvania, and yet the item seemed just crazy enough to catch the attention of one Stephen Colbert. He made fun of the Whopperito on The Late Show, especially taking aim at the way that it claimed to combine that classic taste of a Whopper with authentic Mexican tastes. The Whopperito consists of crumbled, flame-grilled beef patty, crisp lettuce, gooey cheddar cheese, white onions, crunchy pickles, and tomato, along with a bit of ketchup and mayo for good measure, all of which is wrapped up in a white flour tortilla. It's really more like a Whopper wrap than it is a Whopper burrito when you think about it, but that didn't stop Burger King from releasing it nationwide for a time back in 2016. However, the sandwich was extremely unpopular at the time, and a lot of people criticized the fast food chain at the time for giving into gimmicky practices to boost their sales. In fact, Burger King even saw a decrease in sales that year, and some blame the Whopperito. It's fair to say that Burger King took it off their menus quickly, and yet the Whopperito lives on in the memories of those who were brave enough to try it. Before we get to more fast food fails, if it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
KFC's Krushers.
Is Mr. Sanders in?
What's wrong with you? I say he did.
This fail may be the restaurant's fault for introducing an awesome item they couldn't maintain. KFC's Krushers were introduced to their Australian customers back in 2009, and these incredible sweet treats were an instant hit with fans. Imagine a base of ice cream mixed with crushed ice and milk, then you had to choose from a variety of flavors to add. The original line included cookies and cream, mocha, and chocolate cornetto, among others. Over the course of the Krushers' 10 10-year lifetime, however, new options would be introduced, including a Kit Kat Crusher and one flavored like a Bounty Bar made with chocolate and coconut.
Okay, you win.
These drinks were a great way to stay cool in the Australian heat, and they seemed to give Wendy's a run for their money with an ice cream treat that was even sweeter than a Frosty. So if that's the case, then why didn't KFC bring their Krushers stateside, you may be wondering? Well, as it turns out, the machines were just a bit too expensive for the restaurants to be able to maintain, and they gradually began to phase the drinks out sometime in 2018. Some customers may still be able to find the Krushers being sold out of select locations, but for the most part, this brilliant idea is a thing of the past now.
Plan failed.
Major fail on KFC's part for not seeing the potential in these frozen bad boys. Taco Bell's Waffle Taco.
I love Taco Bell.
Have you ever woke up with the urge to have tacos for breakfast? The Waffle Taco was Taco Bell's attempt to dive into the breakfast market by serving up fluffy scrambled eggs and a delicious round sausage patty, which was all folded up in a warm waffle like a taco. Upon ordering this monstrosity, you would also be given a packet of maple syrup that you would be able to drizzle over your waffle taco. This may have been a great option for those who like to mix a little savory with our sweet, but for most, this was just a strange mix of flavors and, quite frankly, a sticky mess of a thing to eat.
Looks like I got myself into a pretty sticky situation.
The folded taco shape didn't necessarily make it any more convenient, considering it came with all that syrup you had to drizzle on top, and it just didn't justify putting two things together that really would be better left apart. Taco Bell began testing the waffle taco out of 5 locations in central and southern Orange County back in 2013, but it didn't necessarily live much longer on menus beyond that. McDonald's McLobster.
I can't believe a French chef is a regular at McDonald's.
McDonald's isn't necessarily the first restaurant that comes to mind when you're going out for a lobster. You're expecting fine dining, maybe even the sort of affair where you'd see candles on the table, and instead, you're getting served this. The McLobster was a sandwich that came with crisp shredded lettuce, a heap of lobster meat, and McDonald's lobster sauce, all presented between a lightly toasted bun. It wasn't uncommon for the lettuce to outweigh the amount of lobster that you got either, meaning that this sandwich wasn't really worth the $6 price tag McDonald's was charging at the time.
My hallucinations have stopped.
It might have been a niche idea, but it only managed to last a single summer on American menus back in 1993. But wait, if you wanted to find out for yourself just what McD's fast food lobster might taste like, then you'll be happy to hear that you can still get the McLobster, but there's a catch. It's only available in New England or the Canadian Maritimes for 2 months during the summer, but not every year, so you have to keep your eyes peeled. Otherwise, you may just have to look elsewhere to get your fix of lobster. But then again, considering it's a fast food fail, maybe that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Burger King's enormous omelet sandwich.
What is the special omelet?
You won't like it.
Are you in the mood for a big breakfast? This one will leave you full for days. Burger King offers a pretty decent selection when it comes to breakfast items these days, with choices like their French toast sticks if you're in the mood for something sweet, or the croissant for a more savory option. But when it comes to sheer size, nothing will ever be able to beat BK's enormous omelet sandwich from 2005. If you ordered this thing, not only would you be getting eggs to start your day, but bacon, cheese, and sausage as well, all sandwiched inside a massive hoagie roll.
It is so big.
The enormous omelet sandwich was filling for sure, and it was actually pretty popular when it was first introduced. Believe it or not, it even increased Burger King's breakfast sales by about 20% that year. But with so much sodium and cholesterol packed into one admittedly sizable sandwich, customers started to back off from it real quick. We imagine that chowing down on one of these to start the day would more than likely leave you feeling sleepy and regretful instead of energized and excited. So we can see why Burger King decided to take it off the menu. At the end of the day, this was just another item that was destined to fail. KFC's Double Down.
Bacon and cheese wrapped in fried chicken, or living
This one might come with a bit of controversy. On the one hand, the Double Down sandwich is just popular enough that KFC keeps bringing it back for limited releases, but the fast food chain has never been quite confident enough in the item to keep it on its menus long term. And why is that? Well, the Double Down is just a regular sandwich made with crispy bacon, Monterey Jack cheese, and finger-licking good sauce. The kicker? It all comes between 2 fillets of extra crispy fried chicken in place of bread.
None of us are judged by the actions of our weakest moment.
Over the years, KFC has also released variations on the Double Down sandwich. We aren't sure why KFC keeps thinking that fried chicken is a great substitute for bread, but this one at least has earned enough notice among KFC customers that it's kind of become one of those love it or hate it sort of deals. When it comes to the Double Down sandwich, you pretty much know what you're signing up for, and if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, then more power to you. But among many KFC diners, this item is still considered to be one of the strangest fails the restaurant has ever put out. Burger King's Satisfries.
Now throwing fries?
Everyone likes a healthier alternative, right? And you'd be willing to pay a little more for a product just because it was healthier, right? That was the thinking behind Burger King's Satisfries, which were advertised as containing 40% less fat and 30% less calories than BK's traditional French fries. Their big secret came down to the kind of batter that the potatoes were fried in, seeing as Satisfries batter was less porous and thus absorbed fewer oils during the frying process. But it just wasn't enough to impress customers, especially when you considered that a single order of Satisfries costs $1.89 compared to a regular order of fries at $1.59. Customers just weren't willing to hand over 30 cents more for French fries that were only marginally more healthy than the cheaper option. And although Burger King may have had their heart in the right place with this one, they ultimately pulled the Satisfries off the menu after only 1 year, back in 2014. Wendy's Frescata.
Look what you did!
Back in 2006, deli sandwiches were all the rage. Fast food chains like Subway and Quiznos were really hitting their stride. And in an effort to compete, Wendy's released their own deli sandwiches, although they claim to have been inspired by their customers' demands for more fresh options. Their Frescatas came in 4 varieties. Your classic Frescata Club came piled high with Black Forest ham, roasted turkey breast, and not 1 but 2 strips of crispy bacon, along with your standard options of tomato, lettuce, and mayo, as well as Swiss or pepper jack cheese.
It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Otherwise, you could also get their roasted turkey and basil pesto Frescata, which came with the option of additional bacon if you so preferred. Their Black Forest ham and Swiss Frescata was pretty good too, or you could get the roasted turkey and Swiss Frescata. Each of these items were supposed to be pretty customizable when ordering at the counter, but customers found that their Frescata would often come back missing a few ingredients that they had requested. Due to the time involved in making the sandwiches on demand and lower than expected sales, the deli style just couldn't survive, and Wendy's went back to being a classic fast food burger joint before long.
Excellent.
First time here? Then leave us a comment and hit that subscribe button. And for another great video, just tap or click.